Today I'm here at Victory Monument, which is a monument dedicated to those who lost their lives in a war with France. It's also a massive roundabout. It's like one of the biggest roundabouts I've ever seen. It's got like 5-6 lanes on each side. This whole area is also a major transportation hub here in Bangkok. A lot of buses start and terminate here. And because of that, this whole area is also developed into a major hub for street food. So I'm here today for a very particular type of street food called boat noodles. So if you go down this way, there is an alleyway here called Boat Noodle Alley. And it's famous for having a lot of boat noodle restaurants all crammed into a small alleyway. So that's where I'm gonna go for lunch today. Once you pass the Victory Monument, you come across this little canal, and all the boat noodle restaurants are situated right on top of the canal. So the reason it's called boat noodle is because in the past, people would literally sell the noodles from the boat directly to people on land, hence the name boat noodles. But to be honest, the river here is pretty dirty. If you look at that, ugh. It's full of trash. Now once you cross the canal, you got a very tough decision to make because there are about a dozen or so boat noodle restaurants crammed into the boat noodle alley. I'm gonna start with this one here called Rua Thon Noodle. It's one of the most popular and most highly rated boat noodle restaurants on the boat noodle alley. So you can choose between sitting outside or if you can sit inside. I think I'm gonna choose, even though there's aircon inside, I think I'm gonna choose to sit by the river. So traditionally a boat noodle is served in very small serving sizes. So instead of one big bowl of noodles, you have a lot of small bowls of noodles like you see them stacked up here. So each serving size is probably only about 15 baht, so you do need quite a few if you want to be full. So here you can see the menu. All the small servings of bowl noodles are about 12 baht each. You can also pay a bit more to get a big bowl if you want. Only in the boat noodle alley can you still find the traditional way of serving very small serving sizes. And when I say small, I mean really small. So mine just arrived. I ordered 2 of them, and you can see each one of them is way smaller than the palm of my hands, and I have small hands. So I got one with beef here and one with pork here. Now with these small serving sizes, this place is a perfect place to do eating challenges with your friends. So here's the first bowl. I really don't think this will take long. It's so small. Like I can literally finish this in one bite if I want to, but I'm gonna try to enjoy it. It's like a gravy beef soup. Oh, it's spicy. I didn't expect it to be spicy. Pretty much done. 2 slurps and I'm done. The next one is pork noodles. This time it's egg noodles. On the menu it says spicy, so I'm expecting it to be even more spicy than the previous one. So I'm going to try to take it slower. The noodles, this one is not as flavorful. I think I much prefer the other one. This is basically a tom yum noodle. 2 bowls of noodle done in less than 2 minutes. I'm going to finish my drink, which is way bigger than the noodles, and then move on to the next one. And the next place I want to try is literally next door to Rua Thon Noodles. It's called the Best of Boat Noodles. So with a name like that, I have to definitely try it out and see if it lives up to its claims. Hello. Inside? There's one person? Yeah. Thank you. As you can see from the menu, they pretty much sell the same thing. This is pretty the standard boat noodle with either beef or pork. Now if you look at the menu here, they have a challenge. If you eat 20 bowls of noodles, you get 1 free cola. The table next to me has what, 7 bowls stacked up. Over there, those guys there have like 10 bowls stacked up. I have no idea what he just said. Okay, as soon as I got the noodles, I feel like the serving sizes here are a little smaller than Rua Thon boat noodles. Better noodles probably the same, but I feel like you get less meat with the serving sizes here. So straight away, I'm gonna have to give an advantage to Rua Thon across the street. Okay, I'm gonna be finishing these noodles very, very quickly. So let's start with the beef one. The soup is about the same. I'll say there's almost no difference, but you do get a bit more meat across the streets. Yeah, I think there's less noodles here as well. I finished it in 1 slurp. See, this is the entire noodle, 1 biter. And I'm done. It's at the opposite end of the boat noodle alley, and there's no English name here, but when I googled it, it's called Pranakorn boat noodles. They got their menu out at the front. They got a bit more variety here, a bunch of appetizers. And when it comes to noodles, you can also choose what type of noodle you want. Now, I don't know if the other restaurants here have that option, but I wasn't really asked about it. So I think I'm gonna go the glass noodle this time. So I can get a noodle to soak up more of that soup flavor. Alright, got my order. Once again, 1 beef and 1 pork. Just try a bit of everything. Now this restaurant seems to serve a more chili version. You can see the soup has a lot of red stuff in there. So I'm expecting this one to be much chillier than the last one. Oh, it's quite chilly. Because I got glass noodles, it soaks in the flavor, so even the noodles are very chilly. This one seems to have even less meat. All you get is a really small piece of beef. It seems like the serving size is just getting worse and worse. Now try the pork version. It's good, but very chilly. Good thing I got some Thai milk tea. The last place I want to show you guys is technically not in Bone Noodle Alley. It's 10 minutes walk down the canal, but it's close enough that I'm going to put them together. So this one's called Doi Quay Tel Rua. It's a very popular place with locals. As you can see, there's no tourists here, so I don't expect an English menu either. You can see here the setup is almost exactly the same. You got tons of bowls stacked up, all the ingredients laid out in the open. The only difference with this place is that because it's a bit more local, you don't get all the fancy stuff like there's no air conditioning. It's just fans and a metal roof over your head. Everything's out in the open. There's no real menu here. They just serve 2 different things. You either want the boat noodle with beef or you want the boat noodle with pork. So here's my order. 1 serving of the beef noodles and 1 serving of the pork noodles. Now it might surprise you to know that this place is more expensive than the Boat Noodle Alley, which I expect to be the opposite since that place is more touristy and here is more local. So each one of these small bowls is about 15 baht, but you do get a bit more meat in it. So here you can see there are 2 meatballs underneath there and a lot more beef that you get on top of it. Same over here, you get 2 pork balls. And I love how they separate out the bean sprouts right in the middle. So we can straight away just put that to the side and just try the important stuff. So first up is the beef noodles. So I did see them putting quite a bit of chili in here. So I'm expecting to pack a bit more punch. Yeah, you do get a bit more noodle here. You definitely get more beef. I think the soup here is more flavorful. A bit of a spicy and soury flavor in here. I think that's the red chili pasting thing they put at the base of noodles before they add in the broth. It packs more of a punch than the ones you get at Boat Noodle Alley. Yeah, I think I honestly give the edge to this place over all the places back in Boat Noodle Alley. It's definitely worth the extra 3 baht. Overall, I thought the Boat Noodle Alley was a great place to come try out boat noodles, even if my favorite boat noodle restaurant did end up being a bit further outside of the Boat Noodle Alley. It is one of the few places left in Thailand where we can try out boat noodles in the traditional style with the super small serving sizes.